So this is everything that I use for this project. I got that Hello Fall sign from Hobby Lobby. The flowers are from Dollar Tree. I picked up about 15 and that was way too many. So you only need about 10 for this project. And I got the wreath and that ribbon from Michaels. The first thing you want to do is remove the flowers from the stems. I did not know it was wires inside of the stem, so you do need wire cutters to cut them off. You just want to cut and bend and twist until you pick at the wire long enough where it just pops off. For some flowers, you do not need to cut the wires because the flower just pops off. If you push the flower towards the top and give it a nice tug, it pops right off the stem, just like that. Just push it up and it pops right off. I also picked up these pine cones from Michaels. I believe they were about $3, and I'm removing them from the stem with my wire cutters, leaving part of the stem still attached to the pine cone because it made it easier to stick it inside of the wreath. So as I was walking to the register at Michael's, I saw this bag of pine cones and pumpkins around the register area and I had to get them. I thought they would be so cute to add to the wreath as well. I believe this bag was about $4. All of the fall decor stuff was on sale at my local Michael's. So once I had everything removed from its stems and set aside, I am now trying to figure out the type of design that I wanted for the wreath. When I saw the Hello Fall sign in the store, I thought it would be perfect to put in the middle of the wreath. However, it just didn't look right. So I decided to have the Hello Fall sign in that bottom right hand corner and have flowers going around that. I am not gluing anything on right now. I'm just figuring out the placement for everything before I do start gluing. You don't want to glue right away because you may not like the outcome, so it's better to put everything down in its place before you glue it down. So with the ribbon that I purchased from Michaels, I decided to make a bow and attach it to the wreath. In order to make my bow, I cut the ribbon into these 4 strips to make the loops that you see on a bow. I'm not a professional, so this was me just practicing and trying to figure out how am I going to make this bow. So I took the smallest strip and I'm hot gluing it to the other end to make one big loop. And you will see me doing this in a second. So once you attach your first loop, you're going to do that for the shorter three pieces, and you're leaving that longer piece for the actual ends of the bow. So once you've combined all of the loops together, you want to grab the three loops, putting the smaller one in the front, the bigger one next to that in the middle, and the bigger one in the back, and then that fourth strip will go behind that one to create that ribbon look. Then you want to combine all four pieces together and scrunch them down in the middle to create the bow look. You want it to look like a bow. So I'm taking a rope that I had on hand from the Dollar Tree, and I will be tying it around the middle portion of each of the loops. And with the rope, once again, I am scrunching the pieces of ribbon together and I'm tying that rope around the middle. And you want to make sure that it's very secure so your ribbon doesn't fall apart. I do recommend using a smaller piece of rope because this rope was so big, it was so thick. So in order to hide that rope, you will see shortly that I'm going to cover it with a piece of extra ribbon. I was struggling with that rope. Please use a zip tie or something smaller to combine your ribbons together. But once I finally got it secure, I put some hot glue on it to keep it in place, and I'm cutting off the excess pieces of rope. So here I am using some extra piece of ribbon to hide the rope, and I will secure this in place also with my hot glue gun. This extra piece of ribbon just makes it look more uniformed and makes it look like a real bow, like I tied it myself, but I didn't. And here I am just fixing those loops. They were very stiff, so I'm just moving them around and make it look like somewhat of a bow. So some bows have that V-shaped cut at the bottom. I don't know what they're called, but I wanted that look. So I took the ends of the ribbon and I folded them in half, and I'm cutting diagonally towards the bottom to create that V cut in the middle. Okay, so that was my quick way of making a bow out of a ribbon. I think it turned out okay, actually. So now that the ribbon was done, I was still trying to figure out my design. I'm putting things back, I'm moving things around. I was playing with that ribbon so much that I didn't even use the ends of it. I tucked everything underneath and decided to just keep the bow on the wreath and not have anything hanging off of it. So I'm still working on the layout of everything. I haven't glued anything down yet. I just want to make sure that I'm putting all the flowers in the right spot, all the pine cones, all the other decorative pieces onto the wreath, and I'm just making sure that all of the colors are aligned and everything just looks good before I actually start gluing things down. So I finally had everything laid out the way I wanted, and I was ready to start gluing everything down. And I'm basically just putting glue underneath each of the flowers and sticking them onto the wreath. And some of the flowers and other pieces had stems still attached, so those were easy because you could just stick it through the branches that were on the wreath. Okay, so for the Hello Fall sign, it did come with a piece of rope that was attached to the H and that second L in hello. I detached the rope from the H because I didn't want the rope to show on the wreath, but I did keep it attached to the L, and I am wrapping that rope around the wreath to keep the sign attached. You don't want your sign to look like it's dangling off of your wreath, so you want to secure it in another spot. And that's why I am just taking my hot glue gun and just securing it onto the wreath in other places so it doesn't dangle or it doesn't move around when it's hanging on my front door. So once I had almost all the pieces added onto the wreath, I decided to move it and hang it on a door just so I can see what it looks like and to make sure that nothing falls off. I am also adding new things, I'm taking things away, and I'm just overall just putting the final touches on the wreath before I am finished. Oh my God, guys, this is how it turned out. I love it so much. Look at those colors. Everything blended so nicely. And the best part about it, I only spent $20 on this entire project. If you guys enjoyed this video, please make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. Thank you guys for watching. See you in the next video.